Corruption and corruption-related cases, and how far the government has gone. Gabriela.
Annie, I think that so far, and I'm sure the people of Ghana will attest to the fact that so far His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane have taken the issue of the fight against corruption very seriously. His Excellency last week set the stage by declaring his assets. He's given an ultimatum to all appointees that everybody must declare their assets by the end of March. Failure to do so means that you're automatically sacked. Anybody who fails to do so does so at his or her own detriment, or whatever way you want to describe it. And as a country, we're losing roughly about $9 billion to $10 billion per annum to corruption. Over the last 8 years, we've witnessed various degrees of pilfering, of pen robbing, of decadence, of obscene corruption in this country, from Kelvin GVG to the SML scandal to a national cathedral. I mean, they scammed everybody. They even scammed God. To the national cathedral, to the SkyTrain. And you know, this funny thing about this SkyTrain. In one of my random moving around town, one day I found myself in Marriott, and one of the promoters of this SkyTrain, I don't know whether he knew me, but he came to me and he was trying to chat. I was with a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, and he was trying to chat us up. And he gave us the whole vision for the SkyTrain. And this was after we had paid $2 million for it.
When you were in opposition?
When we were in opposition.
Okay.
This was before the 2020 election, I think 2020. And he gave us the whole vision of what the SkyTrain was about. And I was like, common rail line from Tema to Accra. We can't get it to work. Now, Cathedral, we can't get it to work. It is the SkyTrain that we are coming to put up in Accra here. That was by the way. And as for the issues of corruption, there was one day, one corruption under Akufo-Addo's regime. And the beauty about a democracy is that...
One corruption allegation.
Very well. The beauty about democracy is that so long as there's a change in government, there's always going to be some element of accountability. And I think that that opportunity has presented itself. And that's one of the reasons why Ghanaians went out to vote massively for the NDC, because they were sick and tired of the obscene opulence and grand theft that was being plagued on this country. Last 2 weeks, we had reports from the Fifth Estate, or was it the Fourth Estate?
The Fourth Estate.
The Fourth Estate, about events in National Service Secretariat, where over 80,000 people, ghost names, were included in a register over a period of 8 years. And you do simple calculation.
In addition to when the deputy director was also
picked
arrested.
Up. Yes, and the other one is also on the run.
Deputy executive director.
And
which
frankly,
other one is on the run?
Gifty. And
she's on the run? Or she's...
They're looking for her. And frankly, I think that whatever, they'll find you. So I think that if you know that I don't think you are in... Let me make my point.
No,
I want to make my point. If you know that you headed this agency, this organization, and you are a wanted man, you go and report yourself and go and clear your name. Because the aggression with which these state agencies are now out to fight corruption, if your name comes up, you go quietly and clear. Even Kenofori Atakwa has changed his mind. I hear he's back now. Somebody said they saw him in the white on
so
Sunday.
Daily Post said NSA Deputy Director Akufo-Addo arrested over ghost name scandals. GabyTetteh Mensah on the run. And on the run is not in court, so... Okay.
But they said they saw her at the airport in Detroit or someplace like that in the US.
But I thought she was back.
Then she should go and report herself and go and clear her name. Because right now, that is the only thing that will help you. If you know that somebody also asked you to do that thing, you to go and mention the person's name, then you will get inside. But anyway, back to the point. Now, we can no longer play ostrich, as His Excellency said, with the fight against corruption, because the people are watching. And this morning, I heard a quote that says, from the Game of Thrones, and it said, power resides where the people say it resides. And the last 4 election cycles have shown that very clearly. When you look at the numbers, how it went out in 2016, and you see the numbers, how it played out in 2024, nobody has to tell you that Ghanaians are watching, and they are watching killing. At the end of the day, power resides with them. And if we are not seen to be fixing this problem, Annie, we will still shamelessly go cup in hand to the IMF for $3 million when we are losing $9 million per year. And it will always be the laughingstock of the rest of the world and our peers. Because for a country that is rich like Ghana, that is always exploited by a certain group of people, and another group just comes and whitewash and make up and pretend to fight corruption, that era is gone. And this is a new era. This is a time for change. The change that the people were clamoring for, this is the time to execute it. And I like the vigor and the vigorousness of our security agencies, especially the NIB. This is their mandate. I know Professor Ameyekunfi personally. I should be the last person to speak against Professor Ameyekunfi. But at the end of the day, I also recognize that when you are put in a position of authority, it comes with great responsibility that you must account for. So if monies have been paid to a company in South Africa, $2 million, for feasibility, question is, when these people came up with the idea for a SkyTrain, did they not do their own pre-feasibility before they chose to come and sell the idea to us? Why did somebody just, or is it the way the NPP administration was run, that you can just create a phantom thing in your head, very fanciful, and then taxpayers' money is just rolled out to you. Okay, you go and do the feasibility. 2 million here, this there. If that is how the governance was being executed in this country, then I'm not surprised that we are in the kind of debt and the economic malaise that this country is in. Because you just gave out public funds like it was confetti. And at the end of the day, somebody has to render account. Kenoforiata is now wanted by the Office of Special Prosecutor, Professor Ameyekunfi, NIB. This deputy guy, Gifty, is wanted. As for Aboye's claim, I think that is also a good example, so that people who can sit and just make all kind of blatant allegations and stuff can go and prove. If he knows where the 500 million Ghana cedis is in Jubilee House, he should go and show them so they can take the money back to Bank of Ghana. It can do roads, it can do public sanitary, whatever. It can do a lot of things. You should go and show them where the money is, so the money goes back to Bank of Ghana to serve some purpose. But I'm very excited about how the fight against corruption is going, and I hope that the momentum will be maintained. And I also want to send this question to all appointees. The same way that people are digging up for oral and all these other fourth estates and investigative journalists that are going around looking for cases to report on. Remember that the same way somebody will also be watching you from the back. So try not to fall victim to any of these things so that we don't have to come and sit here. Because me, I can't defend anybody. I'm not good in line. You people will catch me right. So I don't want to be put in that kind of position that the way you come, you can't even come.
This girl can never get appointments. In terms of asset declaration, it is indeed the basis, and maybe a good start, we will say, because there were judges that even the president reiterated the fact that they were appointed and they didn't even declare their assets, which was quite
serious. A lot of people don't declare assets.
I mean, but how? Judges.
It's not just judges. Even people at certain level in public service.
You don't declare your assets. How are you going to hold me? You are supposed to be implementing the law. You're supposed to ensure that I abide by the law. So if judges don't practice. That's serious.
Sometimes people, to the way you define success, you make people who have not been able to build houses for themselves feel like they haven't achieved anything in this world. Meanwhile, success is subjective. So somebody comes and I don't have any assets. I don't have. Maybe they have some few gold jewelry. They have a land in some place where the land value is 5,000 Ghana per plot. They can't even put it out because about and they don't even go out and say it. So it's a way direction. But I think that once His Excellency has led the way, and then has said that by March ending, if you haven't, you go out.
Yes, my problem is the March ending. Why March ending?
But don't you know what you own?
What do you need? No, but this
you need the whole year to be able to write out what you have. No, if you don't have, you don't have.
No, I wanted to quote the law in situating it in the right context. It's good that he is raising the awareness. He's already filed. I don't know why he is not even urging his people to file now. Why March ending?
In any case, you're not talking about filing.
This says
they have not spoken about when there are certain jurisdictions after you declare your assets. It is published for everybody to see what you own.
Yes, but we don't have that
practice.
But
this
so
one says that and put it in an envelope and leave it at Auditor General's office.
but even in the submission, the Article 286 Clause 4, it says that any property or assets acquired by a public officer after the initial declaration required by the Clause 1 of this article, and which is not reasonably attributed to income, gift, loan, inheritance, or any other reasonable source, shall be deemed to be an acquired contravention of the Constitution.
No, you have to justify how you came by it. Maybe your salary may not allow you to own that property, but maybe you've taken a mortgage. So once you're able to prove that I got this house by this so and so, you are clear. It's when you are not able to prove it, that is when issues come up.
But you have to declare before the resumption of your office too.
No, it's assumed that
that's also in the same article.
It's assumed that at the time that you got your appointment and you gave the first declaration, you had not acquired this property. But subsequently, you have acquired a new property. And you see, the thing about public office at a certain level is that the state agencies, there are state officers who are also monitoring the people who have been given these responsibilities. So every new asset that you acquire, they know. Every new vehicle you acquire and leave in your compound, they know. Any money in your account, even an account that you have not shown that you own,
yeah, but clause
they know.
1. Okay, so hold on. Clause 1, Article 286, just for the public. Clause 1, subsection A. Let me read clause 1. It says, a person who holds a public office mentioned in clause 5 of the article shall submit to the Auditor General a written declaration of all property or assets owned or liabilities owned by him, whether or not directly or indirectly. A, within 3 months after the coming into force of the Constitution or before taking office, as the case may be. Before taking office, as the case may be.
That is what it says. And the point I'm making is that over the period, there are some people who have not complied with it. There are some who, before they went into office, have declared their assets, the law-abiding ones. And there are those who know that unless it is enforced, you can get away with it. Because, as I said, you understand?
Okay. Okay.
So, but once you are in office, and His Excellency has made it clear that right now it is mandatory that once you are in office as his appointee, you must declare. Okay. And up until March ending. So we are waiting for His Excellency. As at March ending, those who have not declared.
So he has even given some laxity that declare.
If you don't know what you own, go and think about what you own.
But you don't have to necessarily own anything. If you don't own anything, the time frame by the law is that declare before you assume office. So declare. That's
for
why
the
I'm saying
law-abiding ones.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that even taking them to March is still a breach of the law.
I'm not using the word law-abiding.